Armed cookies attacked Sinam Kom village in Imphal East district early today, setting at least 3 state forces bunkers on fire. Firing also reported in Yangangpokpi, Santi Kongbal and Thamnapokpi areas. CLP leader Okrami Bobby questioned safety of Raj Bhavan and Chief Minister's bungalow, government's safety measures and response amid drone attacks in Manipur. MLA Joy Kishan urges state government to submit a detailed report on Koutruk drone attacks to Prime Minister, Home Minister and Defence Minister. Education Minister Thongaudam Basanta Kumar proposes enforcement of no non-bailable law to nab and punish those responsible for continuous bunds, blockades and other criminal activities in Manipur. And two-day international workshop on climate smart technology, promoting water and food security through climate smart technology kicks off at Hotel Imphal. Hello and welcome to Impact News. You're watching Primetime English Bulletin. I'm JOYSHREE USHAM, bringing you the top stories and latest news at this hour. Situation in Manipur remains tense following yesterday's drone attacks by Kuki armed groups in Koutruk area, Imphal West District. Armed Kukis attacked Sinam Kom village in Imphal East District early today, setting 3 state forces bunkers on fire. The assault began around 4 a.m. and continued till 6 a.m. The assailants reportedly using drones to drop bombs and launch attacks from Mark Ching adjoining Maikang Maton Ching. Despite retaliation from state forces personnel, the attackers overpowered them and ignited the bunkers. No casualties have been reported and security reinforcement teams have been deployed to the area to strengthen security. There is also a report of fresh drone attack at Senjam Chirang in Imphal West District this evening. According to Impact News source, one person has sustained injuries. This is developing stories and we will bring you more updates in our next bulletin. Armed Kuki groups launched an attack on Yangangpokpi, Santi Kongbal and Thamnapokpi areas of Lamlai Assembly Constituency, Imphal East District in the wee hours today, resulting in injuries to at least one villager. According to Thokchom Amul, Assistant Secretary of Yangangpokpi Village Committee, these villages have been under frequent attacks from armed Kuki groups, causing widespread fear and disruption among the villagers. Amul appealed for immediate deployment of state forces at Urokching, a strategic location adjoining Yangangpokpi and Thamnapokpi, to ensure the safety of the villagers and to facilitate their agricultural activities.
CM Nazu akan mamiang changbi duna lamlai kendra gi Yangangpokpi Santi Kongbal area sida akan mamong da moina he khut thok pi dana khut tha dana tawbase akhoi praja ma oina ai haninga leitana pende ngarang ai samak sige seasono na ai moi khut thokna martu da ai adum changa ga adum yaujai khun ngak pani na ngak ta yadabani na police su yaubi ai lai khitang tapna haitare yari makai athu matamda hariba area Yangangpokpi ka Thamnapokpi ani gi taina ba sing asida central force ka state force ka athu matamda thambina bagi damakta ai government gi site appeal tawjari.
Residents of Yangangpokpi, Thamnapokpi, Sanasabi, Santi Kongbal, Sabungkhok and Sabungkhok Kuno staged a sit-in today condemning recent attacks by Kuki armed groups in their areas. The protesters expressed outrage over the assailants' assaults late last night and criticized the 20 Jat regiment stationed in the areas for allegedly targeting village defense volunteers rather than addressing the attacks. Speaking to media, a resident, Sagolsem Sanatombi, condemns the repeated militant attacks and accused the military of biased attitude. Protesters held placards with slogans such as "Exterminate Kuki narco-terrorists," "Remove Kuki militants supporters," 20 Jat regiment and "Stop the tactics of Indian government of suppressing Meitei of Manipur," demanding immediate action and a change in military tactics.
Chingkong Chingya, the Moon Kuntara, the Kamimba Matan the Kappa, Matan Matari was there to Kunchuba and missing Shina, Makoy the Timbi, but the lighter than now. Couldn't actually make I choosing the labor, Zagaza, when a point at Satuna, Mipami Punta, Nagam, when a Sena, then we could put him at the Asukuma Tawong say, that's what I Machita when we know, acquainting watching the other lady, but when he ties in the Pagini and the Monta, he might be in a talk to a Chena, and Zeriba Kuba, Kunchuba and missing Shina, Tawai, which is the Bakui, the Karim, but I never get a was there, Akoyaninga.
A video circulating online has sparked tension, showing a Kukizo village volunteer issuing a stern warning to Meitei armed groups to vacate Kuki inhabited areas within 3 days. The video accuses Meitei armed groups of launching ambushes on Kuki individuals along roads in Kangpokpi and Churachandpur districts. The volunteer also alleges that Chief Minister Nongthombam Biren is facilitating these attacks. The warning specifically targets Meitei residents in areas such as Satang, Sinamkom, Kangpokpi, Churachandpur and Technopol districts, demanding their evacuation within the stipulated time frame. After the fierce bombs and bullet attacks using drones by armed Kuki groups on Koutruk village in Imphal West district yesterday afternoon, descending from the Koutruk hills, the armed assailants set 5 to 6 houses belonging to Meitei residents in the evening. The assailants also destroyed 3 company vehicles and 10 two-wheelers that were parked at the residences. The attack has intensified tensions in the area, leading to the deployment of additional state force personnel to bolster security and prevent further incidents. The situation remains volatile, with authorities on high alert to contain the violence and ensure the safety of the affected residents.
Mafam duty tawduna leiba commando personnel singna commando Casper galoina mafam dugi akoi bida satuna ngaksen mugi thawak kana sathari loina ngarang nungthen pung anirom taba matam dagi kuki kulai paiba singna akan mamong da drone dagi bom thada duna landara khraba matung ngarang numidang dasu kogi mafam adu da leiba yum taruk mai thado ombaga loina na mafam adugi company gi gari kharasu thawak suriba gari kharasu mai thado lamle hai mafam adu dasu kogi ngasai pung ahung gami jangkhairom taba do ai fawo kuki kulai paiba singna nomai kapsila kogi thaba du muksa thakhi loina na hariba nomai kapsila ko adugi marak tasu koi kuki kulai paiba singna bom thadar ko na chingba kharasu tawki
koi leiba ngamdre ko mena khari engjin biro sigi matang gi yorakpada bu kanana leiba ngamdre do angang nupi impo leidre yum jida koi gata mangai re leige bi khunga pa mi re si gata ne leige jing kanam bo leite si bi yaure nupi me so si re nipam so si re gi khunga pa mi so panam so eba adu khare kor men khare engjin biyo mateng khare taw biyo
loina hariba kadang man gi sing mathak asidasu koi kuki khulai paiba singna koi nomai khar kapthorok pagi makhon tai haiduna su hujik koi commando personnel singa loina na mafam aduda koi yengchinbagi yengchinmani chalibasi hariba mafam asidadi hujik bawgi oina di pamdaba thok thokpa amatadi leitri loina hariba mafam asidasu koi kuki khulai paiba singna dandara kadra haibagi akan mamongda ngaksenbagi thobak su chathari camera person kabiga loina na pawdum jariba bino impact news kadangban.
Congress Legislative Party CLP leader and former Chief Minister of Manipur, Okram Ibobi, today raised serious concerns about the safety of key government establishments, including Raj Bhavan and the Chief Minister's bungalow, following recent drone attacks by Kuki assailants. Briefing the media at Congress Bhavan today, Ibobi criticized both the central and state governments for their failure to protect civilians and their properties amidst escalating violence in the state. He said the attacks, which occurred yesterday, targeted Meitei villages in Koutruk and Kadangban in Imphal West district, resulting in 2 deaths and injuring at least 10 others. Ibobi expressed a lack of faith in the current government's ability to manage the crisis, which he described as a significant national security threat rather than a mere law and order issue. He criticized the inconsistent responses and assurances from the ruling government and questioned the central government's approach to the situation. Ibobi highlighted that the India bloc has submitted a memorandum to the governor addressing these concerns. He argued that if a democratically elected government fails to protect its citizens, it effectively ceases to function. He also criticized the Narendra Modi-led central government for its lack of effective intervention and questioned if the principle of survival of the fittest is guiding its approach to the crisis in Manipur.
And law and order secret innocent praja singi life property protect tawbung ngamdaba government se government sibu lairibra laitrabra hanadi a mere law and order problem money. Now it has become question of national security. Drones in anywhere had thada bangameva. Let's forget about innocent prajasing akoi mayamdi to a kalaseva. Razwaban si shep oiribra oidrabra. Ashizu thadagi rai ameva. Atai the topu tokishida. Chief Minister Banglo say akoina hanging di masi shep oiribra oidrabrava. Adu erigati laiva question di. Razwaban Bhava Chief Minister ki Banglo Bhava shep oiragadi. What about other innocent people of Manipur?
Taking part in the press meet, former Secretary of CPI Manipur State Council L. Sotin Kumar expresses deep concern over the ongoing turmoil in Manipur, suggesting that the conflict could persist indefinitely if not addressed. He accused the government of India of supporting the perpetrators of violence, citing the failure of central security forces to take effective action. Sotin Kumar blamed the central government's inaction for the emergence of village volunteers who have been forced to take up arms for self-defense. He also questioned the government's silence regarding recent drone attacks and stated that both Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chief Minister N. Biren should be held accountable for the crisis, urging immediate and effective intervention.
Manipur the Kaigino Naharul no my Parakanda cookie narco terrorists in Mayo to Tenegris. Siparo Sarkara told money, Laybaks Landare, Prasamiam Punamuni Raybak Iram the Manipur, Kandavia de Hydra, Maru, Naron Kayamanas of Torapane. Tangai for the Kulai Tirakane, Lanamatara of the Landunga of Kulai der Karle. The same with the Landara Kubatam to the central force signal, state force signal. Yamikir Maningam Nak and Nabita Jad of Haro Sarkar and Pide. Harolami, the Singapore Tazel, Kedoki Moina, Sin Cookie narco terrorists, Kamu Landare, Kamu Singi, Pebberda, Lep never, Moitarko Airbear. Lan Lepo, a question Lan Lepage, Karino Varisha, Hidena. Bharat ki Prime Minister na मुझे फाउंड हाइड बकाई बस ये लूरे Manipur.
RPI Atawale National Secretary Maheshwar Thonawjam criticizes political leaders for their failure to address the root causes of the ongoing crisis in Manipur, which he claims has allowed the situation to persist. Speaking to media at the party office in Kashampa today, Maheshwar expressed a frustration over the recent attack on civilians in Koutruk, where a woman was killed and several others injured. He emphasized that it is the duty of elected representatives to provide detailed accounts of the crisis to central leaders, a responsibility he believes has been neglected. He pointed out that armed Kuki groups are using drones and sophisticated weapons to attack Meitei villages, and the center's perception of the crisis as merely a communal conflict reflects a lack of accurate information. Maheshwar urged both the ruling party and opposition MPs to set aside political differences and present a united front to the center, demanding immediate action to address the atrocities and restore peace in the state.
Adu kanana no separate administration lauri se haiba se masak thok na point to bangam drip se kari no haiba duna ngasi bogi problem se solution phangdri bagi madam se sin achobong oirani haiba gi chingna bam chu leire ba koida ruling phangi assembly da ngarang nahan phangi dangari assembly marak ta su khara phangrabani phambasida agenda number 1 da puthokri ba kari no prioritize the immediate neutralization of the Kuki narco terrorists who are in pursuit to divide the Manipur's administrative and territorial integrity haraga agenda number 1 da puthokri se kari no ba ngarang tawri du first time ni drone bombing na tawri base icham cham ba hekta akoi gi thangam painara kuchu khulai masam painara tawba la natte adu taragadi sigi posi akoina point tawba ngamdri kari gino.
Political activist Haubijam Gitajan condemns the recent attack by alleged Kuki narco-terrorists in Koutruk, which resulted in the deaths of a woman and injuries to 10 others, including a child and a news reporter. Speaking to media at his Ghari residence today, Gitajan expressed deep concern over the continued violence against civilians and urged the government to take decisive action. Gitajan criticized the state and central forces for not taking adequate measures against the assailants responsible for the attacks. He also questioned the silence of the 50 MLAs in Manipur regarding the ongoing violence when 10 Kuki MLAs have made their demands to central government for division of the state very clearly. Gitajan called for appropriate action against the Kuki MLAs.
Praja sinang ngasi kapi ba lauri ba kongi ba tari mayam ni boy se akoi media da ui Manipur praja mayam khola loina taya da tabu tabu ngasi initiative yam seriously lo riman kai ginoi ta ga di leibiri ba khogi MLA mayam sina wari ba na tra na ngasai theng nangi ba na tra tori ba hiram khudi mo ki matang si da macha khaina habi de ba si ma di ko madu ko haira ne moina manam jana ngangi boy ta ga di center da leibiri ba prime minister wagera union home minister wagera mana kong di ye ne mai magi oi ba ngasagi political minus no khona ba ade mayu na yana na khona ba home minister na yana na khona ba prime minister na ngasai thujana khona matam da sidagi manga chala wono ma chatpa sidagi tara chala wono ma chatpa ko adugi mahuta hajik ai issues gi matang da kuki ge MLA tara including minister ani tara du yaudna le mori be MLA ni fuje join oina chapmina ka nga sidi Delhi gi parliament house mamang da ni oigera jantra manda da oigera na prime minister gi mayung gi thunga da oigera chala ka khoi khong thil ngam change adugi ngang na matam do hajik ai khoi oi dibra ba chu question hangjage.
Political activist Sapam Kangleipa also condemns the recent attacks by armed Kuki groups on Meitei civilians, describing the actions as tantamount to war crimes. Speaking to media at his residence in Nongada today, Kangleipal expressed outrage over the assaults in Koutruk, Santi Kongbal, Yangang Pokpi and Thamna Pokpi, stressing the urgent need for more robust defense measures. He urged the state government to deploy anti-drone capable devices to safeguard the lives and properties of people in these vulnerable areas. Kangleipal emphasized that merely condemning the attacks is insufficient and called for tangible actions to protect civilians. He also suggested that security personnel and village defense volunteers in sensitive zones should be trained to operate these anti-drone devices effectively.
Hojik leiriba pofum sidaidadi kanagumba mata safe oiraktre haitare aduna Manipur gi laingang na athuba matamda akoigi anti drone capabilities hai akoigi chingkhong chingya mayam sidaida deploy to wam changeeba maduna tataragadi red zone da leiriba mayam sing se akoi hingbang amaroi leibang amaroi masina asoki matik akoigi leiriba yellow mi gi fruit ki magi demography sidaida chauna apanba moirani maramuduna lamlai kendra gi manung da leiriba sana sabi yangang pokpi thamna pokpi santi khongba samkhok khonongna chingbasigi area sidaida anti-drone capabilities deploy to Virakanda, Miamgi Punsi and BUIVC, I Manipur Langata Tamjaning Wafumani.
Sagolban MLA RK Imo formally appeals to Union Home Minister Amit Shah regarding the recent violent attack by armed Kuki militants in Koutruk, which resulted in the death of a woman and injuries to her daughter and others. In his letter, MLA RK Imo requested the removal of Central Force personnel from the area and urged that state forces be given control to restore law and order. He also called for an investigation into violations of the suspension of operations SU agreement by militants and proposed the abrogation of the SU pact to prevent further attacks on civilians. Former Minister and MLA of Segma Assembly Constituency Ningthaujam Biren criticizes Chief Minister N. Biren over the recent attacks on Koutruk areas by armed Kuki groups. Addressing the media, Ningthaujam Biren accused the Chief Minister of poor governance and questioned his ability to protect the citizens of Manipur. He urged Chief Minister N. Biren to personally visit areas such as Kangpokpi, Churachandpur, More and Zirbam to demonstrate that law and order still exists in these areas. The former minister expressed deep concern over the ongoing violence, which has persisted for more than 15 months, and criticized the lack of an amicable solution to the crisis. He pointed out the disparity in security operations, noting that while combing operations, arrests and weapon recoveries are being conducted in the valley, similar efforts seem to be absent in the hill areas. Ningthaujam Biren also questioned the government's decision to allow a rally in the hill areas on August 31st, implying that it reflects a lack of control and governance. He called for Chief Minister N. Biren to resign if he is unable to effectively run the government.
Susanpur Satview, More Satview, Zibam Satview. Karidum Satagi, Sasan Libra, Sasan Libu Targadi, Masamuk Satviudana, when Pisar Patimo Targadi, Pisar Patimo, I should like no Hoikarino, what power can lay Hangum Tokro. In Pada, protest over Satpatarvadi, Jimisana, Satkino Haya Herga, Manipur Police Commandona. Let punking the thing, but Tampak Satpatargana. Jingilam that's cooking set Putargana. Adam choosing thing the free and Taris in the Manukino. Other Moina Utito, Tanbia, Maram Libra. Manipur is a small state, Cookie Kaidok Putarba, Nagagilam Kaidok Tarva, the Metegilam Kaidok Tarva, Pangangilam Kaidok Targadi, Manipur Gaidari Dorigava, Central high level, Bodida, Amisada, Prime Minister Nadin Modita. Nangdra Toy Maram Karino.
Amuko President Nando Luang urges citizens to ensure the safety of village volunteers in hilly areas who are defending their homes against attacks by Kukizo militants. During a press conference at Amuko office in Kwakitil today, Nando Luang expressed concern over the targeted attacks on areas protected by Central Security Forces, accusing the government of India and these forces of tacitly endorsing the militants' actions. He criticized Security Advisor Kuldeep Singh, asserting that his continued presence in office is unjustifiable given the ongoing conflict. He claimed that despite official statements about a decrease in violence, the reduction has not been observed on the ground. Nando Luang suggested that the ongoing operation in the valley, which has uncovered numerous weapons, should be extended to the hills and questioned whether the government's actions aim to undermine the spirit of Manipur's citizens. He accused the government of sponsoring the conflict by allowing one side to operate freely. The Amuko president called for immediate action to prevent central forces from capturing village volunteers.
Manipur the lam tare ji Kukizo militant khakta natana Kukizo mercenary ke ama Indian army in Pasapi ke nekpa aduma khulai pa Kukizo mercenary mayam amsu yorok le sumaina Manipur de irang di sang sinna sum thon ba pami se karigino hai kanda government of India gi arwan be agenda am le makoi arwan be agenda di karino hai kanda Manipur gi yellow mi miyam je muthatpa amadi Manipur gi laloba Manipur Bharati to Kanya Tane na Lan Hojeri Bamayamse, Masi Namdaba Pambane. Ado Koina Hajeri, Hojik Toy Birang Siga, Gomelo of Indiagi, hidden agenda, Aniduga, Anidum Yantan the Bigano. Gomelo of Indiana Tamoy saying na, Manipur Miamgi, Tawai, Lentumhana, can be Hibisine Bakoina Hajeris. Tampaktan and Mit Kudingi, Combing Operation Tori, Kulai Kiapari, Mi Kiapari, Jingilam Dana, Adumba Toko Tokia, Maming the Guin Combing Operation Tori, Sana Draba, Kukizo militants into now Huntumba, Yadraba, Pipe Pumba, Kuchukula, Malakai, Parakaparuga, a quick Tampaki Pari, was utilized on whenever.
Communist Party of India, CPI, Manipur State Council and World Meitei Council in separate press releases condemned the Koutruk incident and demanded intervention from the government. Thangwiban MLA Khumukcham JOYSHREE extended financial assistance to Impact News reporter Ilangba Mushuk, who sustained injuries while covering yesterday's firing incident in Koutruk, Imphal West District. The MLA visited Mushuk, who is currently receiving treatment at Shiza hospitals at Langol, and provided monetary aid during his visit. Speaking on the sidelines, MLA JOYSHREE condemned the unprecedented use of drones to carry out attacks on civilians, calling it an anti-national act. He urged the central government to take appropriate action against these elements, stressing the need for a robust response to combat such threats. The MLA condemned the attack in which a woman was killed and 10 others were injured and asserted that the act was a deliberate attempt by certain groups to undermine the peace efforts led by Chief Minister N. Biren. JOYSHREE also criticized the Indian Army's failure to respond effectively to the vicious attack and urged the state government to submit a detailed report of the incident to the Prime Minister, Home Minister and Defence Minister. Additionally, he questioned the role of Security Advisor Kuldeep Singh, expressing concerns about the lack of significant contributions amid the ongoing turmoil in the state.
Iran se Manipur Thugaiba Pambanate, Masi India Thugaiba Pam, India citizens tum the Mangena, Atamana Honorable Havise, Masi Narangi drone, take to the Mayshing of Nisidagan and later. Then why the Indian armies are silent? Akoi Pukapadraka later. And I couldn't do Donanga is a Aina, Kang the Monorambe, Akoi security advisors and advice to Zikaino is a Kangdi. Discipline the Polo to Zikaino was Aina, Kang the Bonanico, Kangdi, Nutigi, Misi Matam Grasa, Marie, Manga Missum Ciel. Thamsi haribra aro siamla selaga khara irang khara tiar gas ka kusum control tor sum lai haribra security advisor koi DGP wakal mi sire santi hola kan heba akoi mi si andana santi holo ni khenaris I phone haris even though I'm in the ruling party I smasi aning de I prada siraga koi santi pur kan je swai aning de duna.
Wangkai MLA Thangjam Arun Kumar also extended financial aid to injured Impact News reporter Ilangba Mushuk. Staff members from Bank of Maharashtra's Imphal branch also extended financial assistance to Impact News reporter Ilangba Mushuk, who is currently receiving treatment at Shiza hospitals at Langol after sustaining shrapnel injuries while covering yesterday's firing incident in Koutruk, Imphal West District. Led by bank manager Moses Golmay, a team from the bank visited Mushuk at the hospital and handed over the financial aid. It is worth mentioning that the employees of Impact News have their salary accounts with the Bank of Maharashtra Imphal branch. Speaking on the sidelines, Moses Golme expressed deep respect for journalists who put their lives on the line to bring news and events to the public. He also emphasized that providing support and excellent customer service is of utmost importance to the bank. Socialist Students Union Manipur SSUM also extended financial assistance to Impact News reporter Ilangbam Mushuk. SSUM members visited Mushuk at Shiza hospitals in Langol, inquired about his health and provided financial assistance to him during their visit. A deceased man was found floating in Thaubal River near Yaripok Tulihal Konjin Lekai under Andhra Police Station in Imphal East District early this morning. The body was discovered by local residents around 5:30 a.m. who immediately alerted the authorities. The deceased was dressed in combat attire and was wearing a watch on his left wrist. Notably, one side of his hair appeared to be burnt, adding to the mystery surrounding the circumstances of his death. The body showed signs of decomposition, indicating that he may have been deceased for an extended period. As of now, identity of the deceased remains unknown. Andhra Police team has taken the body into custody for further investigation, and efforts are underway to ascertain the cause of death and identity of the individual. Education Minister Thanawjam Basantakumar emphasizes the crucial role of democracy in ensuring the freedom of its four pillars, legislature, judiciary, executive and press during a one-day media sensitization event on school education at Manipur Press Club today. The events, organized by All Manipur Working Journalists Union AMJU and Education Department, marks part of the Golden Jubilee celebrations of AMJU and Manipur Press Club. Minister Basantakumar stressed that democracy thrives when these institutions operate without intimidation and can fulfill their duties effectively. He outlined government priorities for enhancing the education sector, citing the anti-cheating bill as a measure to tackle exam malpractices and mentioning forthcoming laws aimed at further education sector improvements. The minister also discussed the state's school Fagat Hansi mission and expressed concerns about a significant portion of teachers prioritizing salary over student education. To address this, he noted that the government is streamlining teacher recruitment process and that college-level appointments are now under Manipur Public Service Commission MPSC. Present at the event were Education Commissioner H. Gyan Prakash, Education Director L. Nandakumar, Editors Guild Manipur President Khogendra Khomdram, and AMJU President Bijoy Kakchingtabam.
Teachers in recruit unfortunate teaching for salary maximum. Some sort of informal study as a minister around 70 to 80% was just for salary, not to teach children, educate attitude same thing I think will be there in even. So imagine 20% like adagi 80% na ozawi na dilairaga khara incentive yaw da ni khangde taking da ni khangde ai da ni khangde wrong way the sang ni khangde si laita what will be the status of our
Education Minister Thanawjam Basantakumar proposes enforcement of a non-bailable law to apprehend and punish those responsible for the continuous bans and blockades and other criminal activities in the state. Speaking at the one-day media sensitization event on school education organized by AMJU and the Education Department at Manipur Press Club today, Minister Basantakumar emphasized that strict action against such disruptions would significantly contribute to the state's development. He urged the people of Manipur to prioritize the collective welfare of the state over individual interests, stressing the importance of preserving traditions and culture while making necessary sacrifices for the greater good. Basantakumar highlighted the need to view the diverse cultures within Manipur as integral parts of the state, comparing them to the sons and daughters of Manipur. Addressing the issue of village volunteers who have taken up arms amid the Manipur violence which erupted on May 3 last year, the minister insisted that the law must penalize those engaging in criminal activities. He condemned the rise in criminal activities, including the intimidation of teachers and extortion at schools, which he described as unacceptable and as significant threats to the state's stability and progress.
There should be no hampering of transportation and people and goods on national highways. I say, Masaki National Highways Act yauzari bane. Akoi Manipur da ahale tena ban blockade or se. Masida law me enact to bamchamiya. Head to the non-debatable. I agree concerned legislators and lawmakers in the suit. Masi pressure piece that we have to enact such a law. We have consulted all the other states. National Highway Act examine Manipur Burn and Blockade Prevention Act. She is non-bailable. Anybody, Nupi or police can come. Nupi Nupi Thana Lakani, Purani, magistrate among the judge directly be non-bailable with the law.
With that, it's time for a small commercial break. After the break, we'll bring you news on two-day international workshop on climate-smart technology to promote water and food security in Southeast Asia. Keep watching Impact News.
Diagnostic ki lamda chahi nipu hena mangjil thana lakpaga loinana Babina group na miyang mi mafam da lanthokjari anoba ana laingi pathapta compassionate healthcare specialized field kun hen bagi khang hairaba expert sing ga tana tuna matam gu chunaraba laing bagi kana balobi Paidigi luba treatment dagi horaga personalized oiba treatment pituna adongi haksal fagadna ba honaba asina ikoi gi pandam oi adongi haksang fagalakpagi khongchata nungaiba amadi afaba laingi chapchara ba kana balobi Babina Hospital where hope meets compassion Adom kalen gi maisa maragda asumna humai humaga leiba pambibra natraga asumna nungaine AC manungda relax tawraga adom gi daily thabak tawba pambibra asumna relax oina thabak tawbininglabadi mezo hapta AC brand makhal suna leizare loan gi khudong chabasu leizagani akupa marol gi damak lengsan biraksi mezo hab kaisampat konjeng hazari lekai opposite Sangai Express
Two-day international workshop on climate-smart technology focusing on promoting water and food security in South and Southeast Asia kicked off today at Sangai Hall Hotel Imphal. The event, hosted by state-level nodal agency for watershed management under the Planning Department of Manipur, was organized by Humphrey Collaborative Alumni Project for South and Southeast Asia and funded by the USA. The workshop centered around the theme Climate-Smart Technology to Promote Water and Food Security in Southeast Asia, brought together experts and academics from across the region. Dr. Mansi Bhargava led discussions on promoting food security, while Dr. R.K. Sunita, additional CEO, emphasized the role of technology in addressing food security challenges exacerbated by climate change in the region. Contributions were also made by Thailand's biodiversity conservation scientist Dr. Pit Manotpawitter and Myanmar's Asian Center for Biodiversity's country manager Dr. Onmar Kaing, who discussed the broader implications of climate-smart technology on biodiversity and food security. The workshop saw participation from a diverse group of stakeholders, including Impact News Editor-in-Chief Yumnam Rupachandra, IRAP Editor Pradeep Fanjaubam, research scholars and various academicians, all contributing to the discussions aimed at enhancing regional resilience to climate change.
Climate change ki chaithang da ising amasung chaba thakpa koi gi food security da adu gi amang ata yarok podo kamain tor kan da koina country mari si ko country mari India, Thailand, Bangladesh and Myanmar ko seita kari smart technology moi de kram sisinei aduga what can be replicable moida sizinaba smart technology do akoina Manipur da nataga India da kamaina replicate tawraga water and food security se kamaina akoida sustainable way da mayam da manage tawgatagi habi pandamni ko
Thangwaiban Khoyathong Development Organization Takdo initiates an e-vehicle transportation service to assist 3 students currently residing in the relief camp at Tombisana High School, Thangwaiban Khoyathong. This effort aims to ensure that these students can commute to their school despite the challenges posed by displacement. Takdo General Secretary Lukram Boramani shared that this initiative is a joint effort between MLA Khumukcham Joykishan and Takdo, emphasizing the importance of supporting the education of displaced students. Additionally, the MLA has extended further aid by providing study materials and school uniforms to around 70 students residing at a relief camp. Boramani expressed hope that other MLAs in the state would take similar initiatives to support the welfare of displaced individuals, especially students.
Honorable MLA na takdo relief camp hangjabasi akhoi gi adopt tarone habagi matuina ngasi dagi ngang e-rickshaw da thinba school da hojare sigi relief camp da ayambana akhoi gi coaching ju kari ju loina tawbiri adogi di thoina sigi di kari ma problem amata leitre ba dagi free coaching adagi award for uniform ada ana ye ki loina tawba bu do honorable MLA noina adu award pinjimi da leijai smaina akhoi thameban e sigi honorable MLA na tawbiri ba smaina topa da hambiru relief camp ju tawragadi award pa mem du yengjin miragadi masi yamna hena phagane na ai adumana thamjagi.
State Platform of Disabled People's Organization celebrated the success of 7 differently abled candidates from the state who excelled in the NEET exam. Despite this achievement, President MD Yunus Khan criticized the placement process, noting that post-counseling placements predominantly allotted them private institutions over government ones. He deemed this outcome unacceptable and has filed a complaint with authorities under the Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act, citing inadequate implementation of reservation rights. Yunus Khan also urged the public to support efforts to ensure that individuals with disabilities receive their entitled opportunities. Students from Kongpal, Kongkham Lekai, Imphal East District were recognized for their outstanding performance in board and CBSE exams. Ibudho Nemba Thokchom Apokpa Society organized the felicitation ceremony. 2 students who excelled in Class 10 board exams and 2 others from Class 12 CBSE exams were awarded money and certificates in acknowledgement of their hard work and academic success. Chandel District Legal Services Authority organized a 1-day refresher training program for paralegal volunteers on legal aid clinics and special legal aid and services camp at relief camp open at relief camp at Chandel Chief Judicial Magistrate Court Complex. Chandel District Legal Services Authority MJS Secretary Masana E. Panmei graced the event held under the aegis of Manipur State Legal Services Authority and National Legal Services Authority. Advocate KSH Saran Kumari and Chandel District Legal Services Authority retainer lawyer Jackie Lucy were the resource persons. IS retired Takilambam Ranjit was officially sworn in as the new chairperson of Manipur Staff Selection Commission today. The oath-taking ceremony took place at Manipur Secretariat South Block Conference Hall, where Takilambam Ranjit pledged to uphold secrecy and serve the commission for a 3-year term. Special Chief Secretary M.H. Khan, Joint Secretary P.D. Laishram, Radhakanta and other officials attended the ceremony. New Executive Committee members of International Peace and Social Advancement Ipsa Kanglipak Manipur Sekmai branch have been inducted. Angom Loken has taken oath as President, Maharabam Ramesh and Kwarakpam Ibobi as Vice Presidents and USHAM Stalin as the Secretary General. Kyoshi and Moorish Helping Hands Society has provided relief materials sponsored under Corporate Social Responsibility Fund of Indian Railways, Catering and Tourism Corporation to around 200 families. The distribution event was held at the residence of one Ngangbam Robert in Singjamay, Chingamathag, Namayrakpam Lekai. Kyoshi and Moorish Helping Hands Society member T.H. Bikramjit said they will continue to extend further help under the Indian Railways. Now, before we end, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Armed cookies attack Sinamkom village in Imphal East District early today, setting at least 3 state forces bunkers on fire. Firing also reported in Yengpopi, Santikungbal and Pamnapopi areas. CLP leader Okrami Bobi questions safety of Raj Bhavan and Chief Minister's bungalow. Government safety measures and response amid drone attacks in Manipur. MLA Joykishan urges state government to submit a detailed report on Koutruk drone attacks to Prime Minister, Home Minister and Defence Minister. Education Minister Thangnawjam Basantakumar proposes enforcement of non-bailable law to nab and punish those responsible for continuous bunds, blockades and other criminal activities in Manipur. And two-day international workshop on climate smart technology promoting water and food security through climate smart technology kicks off at Hotel Imphal. That's all we have in this bulletin. Thank you for being with us. Coming up next is Primetime Manipuri Bulletin. Have a great evening and stay safe.
Lan Thorum, Malim Taibang Panas, they could